Minasan, konnichiwa, and welcome to our free tutorial channel. Let's talk about habitable rooms. So, what do we mean by habitable rooms? It could be habitable spaces. It includes living room, sleeping room, eating room or dining rooms, cooking rooms or kitchen, bathrooms and toilet rooms, closets, hallways, storage, and utility rooms are not habitable rooms. Okay? Habitable rooms have their own set of requirements for size, ceiling height, heating, lighting, and ventilation. Rooms that are not habitable do not have these requirements. Okay, so let us talk about the requirements for habitable rooms area. We need to provide every habitable rooms with an area of at least 70 square feet. Take note, 70 square feet. This is the requirement for the United States of America. So in our country, we are using square meters. So if we can convert this, this is about uh, 70 square meters is about 7.8 square meters. So if you, this is a small area, 7.8 square meter or 80 square meter for that matter is about 2 by 4, 2 by 4, 2 meters by 4 meters. Very small area. Okay, but that is the minimum area requirement. So this is not a requirement in the country. So actually, uh, habitable rooms, if there are really such requirement, could be found in sanitary engineering uh, discipline. It's not in civil engineering, it's not in mechanical engineering. It is probably in sanitary engineering because of the requirement for safety and health issues. But I am not aware of the sanitary engineering in the country having the minimum requirement area of 8 square meters or 7.8 square meters. Okay? So, if you are a sanitary engineer or any person that knows the details of this in your country, in our country, please share your knowledge and let us be aware of this requirement. Okay? And maybe you can put on the reference or the code which specifies those provisions. And let us continue. Provide every habitable room with a horizontal dimension of at least 84 inches. So 84 inches for horizontal, that is 84 divided by uh, divide by so that is 2 meters. That is about 2 meters, 2.1 meters, something. So provide every habitable room with a horizontal dimension of at least 2 meters. Kitchens may be accepted, maybe exempted. There is a what? Sorry for the spell typo error. In some condition, you may design a kitchen that is smaller than 8 square meters, or with the horizontal dimension less than 2 meters. Okay, so because kitchen, living room, dining room, sleeping area, or bedrooms are the habitable spaces in our homes. So those are the habitable spaces. Okay, so it includes kitchen, but kitchen may be an exemption with regards to this area and horizontal dimension requirement. Okay, let us go to the next. Measure between the finished floor and the lowest part of the ceiling in most rooms and basements to determine if minimum ceiling height standards are met. Okay, so minimum ceiling height 2 meters. 84 is again 2 meters. Ignores lights and fixture, but always measure up to the minimum, the most or the lowest part of the ceiling. Okay, so you can look at the picture. Okay, with 84 minimum, ignoring the lights and fixture and the ceiling fan. Okay, okay, so that is how we are going to measure um, the habitable space and not habitable space. So the habitable space is only those spaces with a minimum of 60, 60 inches, or what is 60 inches? 1.5 meters height. So 1.5 meters and above, that is habitable space. If the ceiling is less than 1.5 meters, then that is not habitable. Okay, that is the condition. So as shown in the figure, we have to provide at least 84 of clear ceiling height between the finished floor and ceiling at the center of the room. If the ceiling slopes only at the floor space where the ceiling height is at least 60 or 1.5 meters may be considered habitable. Heights less than 1.5 meters, such as knee wall areas, may be useful for storage, but they are not considered living spaces. Okay, so minimum ceiling height again, that is uh, 84 inches, or that is 2 meters. Okay, and including a basement containing habitable rooms and hallways. Measure ceiling height from the finished floor to the lowest projection from the ceiling. Projections usually include components such as joists, beams, and ducts. Okay? There are ductings. Okay? Projections do not usually include light fixtures and ceiling fans. So as we have already explained, you may have obstructions that are at least 76 inches above the finished floor in a basement containing habitable rooms and hallways. You can have obstruction. Okay, provide at least 80 inches tall finished ceiling height in a basement that does not contain habitable rooms or hallways. 80 inches. Okay, what is 80 inches? So let us uh, compute the 80 inches. So 80 inches is about uh, 2 meters. Again, 2 meters. No? So 84 is about 2.1 meters. This 80 inches is about 2 meters. What about 76 inches? 2, still 2 meters, 1.9 meters, still 2 meters. So this is not really specific in the Philippines. As far as I know, but if ever this is a requirement, it seems it is a requirement which is not written in the codes but are being used by virtue of tradition. For example, we are providing these statistics and information from industrial engineering. We are measuring the average height of the person. So therefore, since average height of the persons in our country is somewhat shorter than the average height in United States, so expect that there must be uh, a different standard for this ceiling height in our country. Okay. So another one is provide at least 80-inch finished ceiling height in bathrooms and laundry rooms. So this is a requirement in plumbing. Our national plumbing code have this requirement. Also, the sanitary plumbing code has a requirement like this. But they are almost similar to the requirements from the United States. They adopted the requirements from United States. The only difference now is that this number 4 is this present requirement is written in the code, and therefore uh, being seriously followed in our country. Okay, this does not mean that all of the bathroom must have 80-inch tall ceiling. Ceiling height above sinks and toilets may be less than 80 inches. Okay, so there must be uh, this special provision because bathrooms may have sloping, what do you call this, ceiling, okay, sloping ceiling. How much less is subject to interpretation by the building inspector. So, building official in charge of plumbing system or in charge of sanitary. So, they are the ones who have this provision. Okay? I know this for the fact. I encountered this. Okay? So, I personally know this requirement. But there is a difference in, I think, 1.78 meters. And this one is actually 2 meters. So, there is some difference in the height because of our average height in the country is shorter than the average height in United States. Okay? So uh, please comment if you know the details of this, and please correct if this is not 1.76. I think this is the height requirement referred to in National Plumbing Code of Sanitary Engineers and National Plumbing Code of Plumbing or Master Plumber. Okay. Next one is to provide at least 84-inch or 2 meters tall, 2.1 meters tall finished ceiling height in habitable rooms with the slope ceiling. So if the ceiling is sloping, so provide at least this one. Finished ceiling height. Provide the ceiling height for at least 35 square foot. So 35 square foot is very small. You have to provide it for 35. So that is only 3.8 or 3.9 square meters. So 4 square meters is about 2 by 2. 2 by 2. So provided for 2 by 2. Again, in our country, this is not the same it is smaller. And again, it could, it is written on National Plumbing Code of Master Plumber and National Plumbing Code of Sanitary Engineers. We have equivalent requirement for this height and this area. Okay? Do not count any area with a ceiling height less than 60 inches. Again, there is a particular corresponding provision out of this. Okay? So I will put on specific provision and specific details on the comment below. Okay? I will do so in view of our student and reviewers for the board exam to be able to have an accurate and precise code details for the specific requirements. Okay, so the next one is the bathroom design standards, and we have showers and bathtubs. Okay, so requiring some height and some areas. We have in the National Plumbing Code of the Master Plumber and the National Plumbing Code of the Sanitary. We have in the Philippines. Codes and good design practices insist on ample spaces between bathrooms fixture. So we have this dimensional requirements. Okay, we have clearances. We have this. So 15 inches is 1.5. So I think we have we have in the Philippines. I think we have 375. 375. Okay, 375 from center. Okay, to the wall, and from center to the next uh, toilet bowl to toilet bowl distance. That is, I think 700. 760 or 750, something like that. Okay, so there is very small difference between plumbing code of master plumber and plumbing code of the sanitary engineer, but they are almost the same. Okay, also for the sink and for the lavatory, for the bathtub clearances, we have corresponding dimensions. For shower size, provide showers with a finished area of at least 900 square inches. Okay, so this 900 square inches, again, we have provision for this. A provision for this, again, on the National Plumbing Code of either master plumber and sanitary engineer. Okay. However, I may have to tell you that with regards to this, only the master plumber is the uh, authorized professionals that could sign and seal this plan with respect to this area of specialty. Okay, so finished minimum dimension about at least 30 inches. Okay, so minimum dimension 30 inches. That is about what? Less than, it is actually 2.5 feet. Okay, so if we compute that 2.5, that is about 762. So that is actually correct. So 760 or 762. 760, I think, in Master Plumber, and in Sanitary Engineer, that is 762, I think. So that is the actual. So corresponding provision are still there in our country for shower size. And the threshold to at least 70 inches above the shower drain outlet. Okay? Measure the shower from the center line of the threshold or the curb. You may install bulbs, shower heads, soap dishes, and grab bars that encroach into the minimum dimension. So that is allowable. You may install a fold-down seat in the shower if the minimum dimensions are maintained when the seat is up. Okay. So because we are particular with horizontal dimension and the vertical dimension. So you may provide the shower with a finished minimum dimension of at least 25 inches if the finished area is at least 1,300 square inches. Okay. Provide shower compartment entry opening of at least 22 inches finished width. Swing hinge shower doors out from the shower stall. Okay, this is again uh, corresponding uh, provision in the country. Okay. Hinge doors may swing into the shower stall if they also swing out. Okay. Sliding shower doors are also allowed. Okay. So there is no mention of this in our country. There's no mention of this. So I will provide an exact information and reference on the comment section below. Because we are using metric SI units. Okay. So that's all for the habitable spaces. Okay, so it is a combination of building design and uh, planning system. Okay, so it must be a civil engineer and master planner or a sanitary engineer. So thank you very much. Please do help us and make a comment and additional notes if you are knowledgeable on the provision, particularly if there are local regulations that is being used. As far as I know, I am using the latest IRR of the plumbing code of the country, being used by both master plumber and another one by sanitary engineers. Okay. So